Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Didikanku with your host, David. Today, we have a very special and beautiful guest. She is the founder of Bullied. That's Bully with ID, Bullied. She was an ambassador for UN Youth Affairs, and now she's engaged with UNESCO. And please welcome Coach Agita. So, Coach Agita, is it
Hi,
Agita?
David. Yes, you can pronounce it Gita or Agita. That's fine.
Okay, Agita. Agita, can you tell us a little bit about your background for some of the audience here? First of all, of course, welcome and thank you for your time coming on to share this. But for some of the audience here who are interested, what is bullied? And what is your background? How did you come to start Bullied? What was the story behind this?
Yeah, thanks so much, David. And I think first of all, thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure to speak in this opportunity with you
Well,
and
it's
your
an honor
audience.
to have you.
So my name is Agita Pasaribu, and I'm the founder currently and an executive director at Bulliid Indonesia. So we are a charity registered in Indonesia where we're focusing to provide help in terms of psychology support and legal support for victims and survivors of cyberbullying, online harassment, as well as domestic violence. You asked me, how did I start this? I I studied law, so specifically I studied criminal law,
Hmm.
and then short story. I finished my study and then I started my work journey in Kuala Lumpur. So
Okay.
in Kuala Lumpur, obviously, I had a chance to move around the company, and finally, it was in 2018 that in the end of the 2018 actually. So I to move to different company,
Mm.
and well, it was very unfortunate because that time I was harassed in my company, which
Oh.
that was the first time that I experienced something like that,
So
right?
harassed, sorry if you don't mind me asking, harassed in what way? Like physically harassed,
It
mentally
was,
harassed, there's a
it
lot of
was,
different.
yeah, yeah. I'm glad that you asked this
Mhm.
because it's actually a multiple of harassment that I received. It started with the physical slash sexual harassment, and
Mm.
then it goes to the verbal harassment. And then the sad
Mhm.
truth that when I open up this story that I had with the HR, the HR is actually didn't even help me. And then the
Mm.
person was accusing me that I'm actually telling something just to make me famous in the company. So I was the only Indonesian in that company, and obviously, it is difficult to get help for it. I think, especially Indonesians, if you are outside. Um, so I completely feel like I'm left behind, and then I didn't have any help. I quit from the job, and then I went back straight to Jakarta, where my
Mhm.
home is. So I had a mental breakdown, I can say, when that experience, and I started to look for help, and then because something that I wasn't really comfortable talking about that with my family, which I
Right.
supposed to, right? But having the background of understanding about law, but that time I didn't even feel that I want to report it because I know that thousands of cases in the Indonesian embassy in Kuala Lumpur is just sitting there, and they have more important things probably based on their work to taken care of. So I thought I don't think I will be
So this
reporting this.
really this really started from your own experience.
It did,
It
yeah.
started from something that made you very uncomfortable in the workplace. Um, I guess it caused some trauma in you because you tried to get help, but no one was really there to help you.
That's
And
true.
so this is where you decided, okay, maybe I'm the person who can help people. Is that it? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's more like I don't want people experience something that I
Right,
experienced,
right,
right?
right.
Um, and when I come back, it's still difficult for me to, I stayed in Depok because that's where my home is. Depok is pretty much very far from the city center, and the psychologist that I was seeing before was actually in Jakarta. And then
Mm,
considering the journey from Depok to Jakarta itself, it's already, exhausting to me because,
right.
traffic jam everywhere at that time, right? So that's the first time when I thought it was like, oh no, I'm already mentally draining. And then this traffic jam and everything, it doesn't make me feel that I wanna I wanna
It's
have
even more draining, basically.
exactly, exactly. I wanna speak to someone who can help me in the comfort of my own couch, and probably in my room when I feel safe and so on.
Right.
Um, and then I couldn't find the help that I can just, get it in my quickly in my comfort room probably. So
Mm.
that's one thing that I can think of. And then another one, I think, okay, so and now I feel a little bit okay
So
because I
I
was
want to
actually doing this.
I'm curious here with something you said, like you did go to a psychologist to try to get some help with this trauma because
Yeah,
you said your family couldn't help you. What was it that actually helped you in the end? Was it going to the psychologist, or was there
yeah.
another factor involved here until you finally got over this trauma?
It was actually not because of my family cannot help me. It's because simply I I didn't tell them, and
All
I
right,
did
right.
not feel comfort to speak up about this to my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I was seeing a psychologist, obviously, the method that the psychologist gave me was a CBT, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps me to navigate my stress and why I was feeling that I wasn't worth it anymore,
Hmm.
right? After all of this, I did my bachelor degree, I did my master's, I did all of these things, and in the end of the day, I felt like I was just a victim.
Right, right.
So I felt that time that how is that possible? Something like this happened to me, and why me, right?
Hmm.
So I think the patterns, the thought pattern that the psychologist taught me is basically saying that no matter what, the things that you can control is within you.
Right,
It's not within other people. Because no
right.
matter what you are doing, you won't be able to guess what they're going to do towards you.
Hmm.
What will be their reaction towards you,
Hmm.
right? We can't
So,
control someone else's mind,
right. So
right?
kind of
And
control what you can control,
through
kind of.
that, through that. So what I can control is my own behavior
Right.
towards that situations. And
Mm,
that's what I do. So instead of feeling miserable for how many months already, right? And without having a job, and then I basically just thinking about that occasion happen and happen again, it left me a trauma. I
right.
felt like I think that's it. I mean, this thing happened to everyone. So I started kind of like making my own research. I even joined with a couple of organizations like a feminism journal, feminist organizations to sort of kind of understand that am I left alone? I mean, like, am I alone in this world? And turn out
Mhm.
there's like thousands and thousands of people in Indonesia, especially even in Jakarta, experiencing the same thing as what I did. So, and as I had,
I'm sure
and
there's more than thousands. I'm sure there's tens of thousands, but yes, absolutely.
so I think
There's a lot
so.
of people, I think that I think this is something, especially in Indonesian culture, that's quite taboo.
Yeah.
It's something that you don't talk to with family, or you only talk to with very, very close friends, and
Mhm.
basically they can only say, "Oh, poor you, sorry to hear that," but they can't really do much. And yeah, I think it's great that you've started something like Bullied, where
Mhm.
people can actually I guess it's so what exactly is Bullied? Is it a community? Is it a service that's given? Does it have a group of psychologists? What exactly is Bullied?
Yeah. So Bullied is a platform, right? We are an online platform where you actually can get help from psychologists, from
Mm,
lawyers,
mm,
and you could also actually report an issue. So at the moment, we have the Benchmark Hub Center, and
mhm,
then we do produce, basically, we also have our own software where we're hoping that this software is actually can be used for private schools and university. So
okay.
seeing for my experience, yeah, so seeing for my experience, we developed the share platform. So share platform is um, um, basically from sexual harassment anonymous reporting platform. So you share. Um, that platform is allow the company to be able to use it integrated with the HR platform.
Mhm.
So within internally, employees can report anonymously about any misbehavior. And then all the report is going to be anonymously received by the HR. And they can also reply directly through the software without a need to know phone number, but they can actually have a conversations directly, a real-time one
So,
within the platform
so it's
throughout.
totally anonymous, basically.
It is,
It's totally
it is,
anonymous,
and they can have a conversations directly. Yeah.
and they can have a conversation with a professional without having that fear of I guess like someone knows who I am, and so there's that I guess that sense of privacy, that
Yeah.
sense of confidentiality. Wow, that's great.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
So I mean, on top of the platform that we provide, basically they can also have the psychologists and the lawyers within our platform. So it's a completely like comprehensive package that we provide for the companies, so then can actually utilize it and then provide this for the employees as well.
So the lawyers can actually help, for example, if it's something serious, to help sue those companies for harassment within the office or something.
Well, the idea basically of having a legal in here is to mediate, right?
Right,
In the end of the day, I think the company also doesn't want their public branding is, it's
right.
harming their public branding
Got it.
by having this conversations or having these issues goes abroad, I mean, public, and then people are starting to not trusting the brand.
Right.
So the idea of having a law and legal lawyers in here to basically help to prevent that to happen, and in the same time providing the protection to the
Mm,
victims.
got it. Got it. So it's not so much suing, but maybe more towards the PR of the company and the image of that company. If there were an incident of harassment, so to say. And so this Bullied, you've mentioned a lot about like office, but what's the, I guess, main demographics that Bullied is targeted for? Is it mostly for people who are, is it for everyone? I mean,
Yeah.
especially nowadays, you know, a lot of people, there's cyberbullying. Um, I mean, bullying in school has always been common, but I guess right
Yeah.
now with the pandemic, that's probably gone away because kids aren't going to school. But they're still getting bullied in other ways. I mean, mostly cyber and digital. So what's the whole demographic with bullied? Is it basically for everyone, or is it focused more on the office place?
Yeah. So bullied in a nutshell is everyone, because the workplace is just one feature that we have that we call share platform. So that's what we dedicated to harassment and bullying at the workplace. But Bullied, we're providing psychology support, legal support, as well as quite a lot of public awareness programs. Is basic for everyone. And yes, you are right. We work with the schools, with the universities to providing a lot of seminars and workshops in the same time.
Oh,
And
wow.
to emphasize, we have basically we have the trained counselors
Mm-hmm.
that's actually accessible for free. So if you want to speak with the trained counselors with our platform, we only provide for the free sessions, basically with chat method. So unfortunately, at the moment, our charity doesn't have the fully capability to provide free for all licensed psychologists with a video and audio.
Right.
There is a small amount that you have to bear since they are the professionals, but we're providing free trained counselors in the psychology and in the legal knowledge. You can basically just simply to log into our website. You can enable the feature to stay anonymous during consultation. So if you want to feel that you want to just share anything, feel free to do so. And we're always there from Monday to Sunday. So it's,
Wow.
yeah, so
So
we
there's
have,
a full team 24/7 basically ready
yes,
to help anyone who's having issues being bullied.
we're not yet operating 24/7,
Okay.
unfortunately. But then at least every day. So it's from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. at night. So in case you feel, you feel like to talk to us during after dinner, probably, or after lunch break, simply just go to bully.org. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And so most of these are psychologists. You don't have I know, like, because I'm a coach, and I also deal with there's what we call trauma coaches, empowerment coaches, personal development coaches. I myself specialize in personal development, and I've actually met a lot of teenagers who go through this, who go through bullying, and actually it's not physical bullying, it's more mental. And sometimes it comes from the people that you would least expect it to come from. But it's still a form of bullying. It's a
Yeah.
form of basically mental manipulation
Yeah.
that ends up causing them trauma and ends up causing them to kind of hide or put up a shield, put up a barrier, and not let
Mhm.
people in because of this.
Mhm.
So, I mean, do you have any coaches in your organization, or is it mostly professional psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, etc.?
Yes. So since I want to get it straight for one thing before we move it forward to there. There's a lot of misconceptions in terms of what are classified as bullying or slash cyberbullying. A
Yes.
majority of the people out there, you think that bullying is only about verbal or physical, when you
Mm,
hit someone or when you do something to someone.
yes.
But that's actually more than that. Um, Now in the social media where everyone is basically using this smartphone, when someone creating a fake profile on your behalf without you knowing and then sharing a very sensitive contents about you, that's also a part of cyberbullying,
That happened
right?
to me
It's called
recently.
impersonation. See?
That
Right.
that happened.
So
Well, someone hacked my account and started posting weird things. I had to delete my Instagram.
oh,
Um,
no.
I don't mind. I hardly used Instagram, my own, but it was a pain because I
Mm,
was using it to connect with people. But yeah, that makes total sense. Like it really, for me at least, it really annoyed me.
did
Sorry,
you report it?
sorry.
Did you report it?
I didn't. I just deleted my page and opened a new one basically. I never knew that we could report it. I reported it to Instagram. They said, "Oh, just change your password." I changed my password and still they were still they still had my password. I don't know how that happened. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of understand what you're saying here about that, like someone taking your profile and then
Yeah.
using that. But please go on. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but
No, no
I just
worries.
want to
No
share that
worries.
this does happen.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I think now we understand that we also even relate with what I was saying, because
Yeah.
impersonation is real. And lucky that you actually reported to Instagram platform. That's the first thing that you have to do. Later stage, obviously, if you would like to report it to the National Cybercrime Agency, that's
Mm,
up to you. But you can do that as well. So impersonation is one, doxing is another one, cyberbullying in terms of sharing the online harassment, negative comments, obviously a part of cyberbullying. And another thing is also, I'm not quite sure if you're aware about this terminology, it's called revenge porn. So
mm.
revenge porn is the position or the situations where someone that you used to be close to sharing your intimate videos, contents, photos without your consent, right? So
So this
reasons
is
of
this is like
sharing.
this is like a boyfriend or girlfriend who has a grudge on their ex, and then maybe they have some indecent photos, and so they kind of post it as an act of revenge. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
That could basically that would be one case. The other case, it could be also not necessarily have to be boyfriend and girlfriend, someone that you met online from online
Mm,
dating sites, which is quite a lot at the moment. Um, so majority of the people that we help in terms of the revenge porn help center that we have is to help them to take down and to remove their content that's shared online, especially on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So
mm.
that's where we have the connection with public policy and Indonesia. So we can actually help
Oh,
to remove the content quicker. Right. Instead of when you are reporting it through the platform, obviously that's the first thing that you have to do. And then if
okay.
it's not being removed for a couple of days, then you can actually go to our Revenge Porn Help Center and then we will help you to escalate their issues quickly. As long as you provide with the link, it's still active and there is a screenshots of more evidence and you tell us the chronology. So once we validate and analyze that, we'll be able to basically take down. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't really have the connections with other platform, but that's something that we are currently focusing on too.
Wow. And that's something that's in this Bullied app.
Yes, yes, and
That's
it's for
part of.
free. So, yeah,
Wow. Well, I've heard of this revenge porn, but I didn't know it actually happened, and it was actually a big thing. So
Oh, it
talking,
is.
this makes me curious about bullied. Like, you deal with so many different kinds of situations. I'm sure you must have some statistics or information about like what is the most common the common, I guess, theme of bullying, if you can call it a theme. I'm
Yeah.
using this word because I don't want to use another another word, but let's call it a theme. So what's the most common cases that you deal with in
Yeah.
Bullied?
So since the March 2020 until August 2020, it's a lot of revenge porn cases. A lot of revenge porn
Interesting.
cases that come to us, and that is why, because in the beginning when we are launching the platform, we don't have revenge porn help center, but slowly people are reporting about this. They met people online from different part of the world, and it's just because obviously it's an internet, there is no
Right.
limitations for us to meet other people.
Exactly.
And so they started to have a romantic discussions online, and then people are, some of the cases, it's genuinely just to have a revenge towards the victim, because they wanted the victim to keep sending them nude photos and intimate videos and so on. But another case
So it's
is also,
basically like they
yeah,
blackmail them, is it? They blackmail them. They say, if you stop sending me these lovely pictures that I
that's,
want,
that's
I'm going to post it. Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy.
that's really horrible.
It's
Yeah.
horrible.
So
Yeah.
there is one case where the blackmailing is just in terms of making sure that the victim keep sending the pictures or videos. There is another case, they making this as a part of their job. So after people are feeling like, like, I have all of your nude pictures right now, I want you to send me this amount of the money. If it's not,
Mm,
then you're gonna be seeing all of these pictures in your account, and I also know where you are staying right now, and I'm going to share these photos in your home,
mm.
so all your family is going to see it as well. And that is this is crime, right? That
That,
is
yeah,
a
I mean that is literally blackmail.
yeah, obviously,
That is
yeah,
the literal meaning of blackmail, and they're basically monetizing a
yeah,
crime. I mean, is that something that Bullied could help? I mean, sure, you help take down these pictures, but
yeah.
is that something that the Bullied network can actually help to track down these people, or at least do something about these kind of people, report them to the right authorities or something?
Yeah. So this is why we basically combine between the emotional support and legal support, because
Yeah.
we know that even though people need time to sue or report this case, but they still have to report this, right? If
Right.
they want the perpetrators and the offenders to stop, they have to report this. So
Right.
in the case where the offenders are Indonesian as well, especially in Indonesia, it's easier. This makes our cause easier to report this and to prevent and to stop as well, because our lawyer actually able to send a legal notice, or
Mm,
in Bahasa we call it somasi, surat
mm.
somasi, right?
Right. Right.
So the legal notice, basically it helps the victims to be able to send this legal notice to the offenders or perpetrators, right? Because there is already one step forward in terms of the legal actions that has been taken, but it
Mm.
is not yet reported in the National Cybercrime Agency. because
Right.
many of the victims, when they hear about, oh, police, oh, it's a cybercrime agency, or what am I going to do, what they're going to do to me, are they going to take my phone away from me, are they going to tell the whole entire family that I was actually doing this.
Mhm.
So there is a lot of stigma
Right.
in within the Western culture, especially in a Muslim majority
Right.
populations in our country. So there's yes, there are some of the cases that we actually help them to escalate until basically reporting the case to the National Cybercrime Agency. But majority of the case is our lawyer help them to share the legal notice and then
Mm.
send it over to the offenders or perpetrators, and that's stopped there because
Okay.
the perpetrators was actually aware that, oh, okay, this,
Someone's
yeah, these
watching me.
people are
Someone's
exactly,
on my
because
back. Yeah.
you have no idea how is powerful the the signature of a lawyer, and then the
Right.
letterhead of the law firm and everything is just changing the whole entire scenario, because
Right.
people think that, oh, this is real,
Yeah.
this is real, right?
It puts more weight on that person, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
there's more weight on them to kind of like, oh no, something serious could happen if I don't stop
Yeah, yeah,
blackmailing this person. So
that's
it seems
true.
like you're doing a really, really I mean a really, really great service to society with this. But it also makes me curious, as in, um, why do people send these pictures in the first place to strangers? I guess. I
Yeah,
guess
okay.
that's kind of where maybe it's confidential if you
Good.
talk to clients, but do they ever tell you like why did they do it in the first place? What was the I don't know, what was their intention of sending these things in the first place?
It's love, David. You blind because of love, right? I mean, you.
I don't know. No matter how blind I am, I'm not going to send, you know.
Obviously. Well, if we have a better understanding about how to use internet wisely, and I think that is something that we are also lacking,
Mm,
right?
right,
In our educational, um, basically when we are at school, we just given this phone and we just given this device
right,
to simply utilizing Facebook and Twitter and so on and everything without a proper understanding
right.
about how to use the internet and a social media in a nice way.
Well,
Secondly,
basically, I think most people should know anything you put on the internet is public.
well, it's not just public, it's going to be there forever.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, so, and the secondly, we don't have, especially in Indonesia, we don't have a sex education
Mm,
um,
that's
in the
true.
curriculum. And then talking about sex is a very taboo as conversations, even within the family. So teenagers, especially those who are in 20, 25, 20, yeah, 20 to 25, they learn about the autonomy of their body, the sexuality, and everything is online.
Mm,
So um, which is something that when you are seeing the whole thing, I mean, we obviously we can't say that from where that you actually watch the video and so on, but not everything on the internet is right,
well,
right?
I think we can confident well, I can confidently say at least 75% of the internet is wrong.
Yeah. So the percentage, but I don't know the percentage yet, but what I know is, mm, sex education is not something that you could
It
actually
is.
learn
It isn't.
from
Yes, it
internet,
is.
especially from the sources that is not legitimate as an educational resources.
Mm,
So this is something that is mixing within our within our environment, especially towards the teenagers and the young people, where they have the hormone is raising, and then they want to do something and they want to see something, and that's what is happening. So the
Yeah.
revenge porn cases obviously rising over 300% and all, in this online harassment, even since the working from home and studying from home.
I'm
Um,
sure. I'm sure. I mean, this brings me to another question I'm curious about. Do you have seminars that raise awareness for this? Like, do you do, I don't know, webinars or um, some kind of trainings for these groups, 20 to 25, you say,
yeah.
where you kind of teach them and tell them, hey, be careful of the people you meet online. Not everyone is who they seem. And so do you actually have these kind of programs?
Oh, yes. I mean, we have over 170 organizations as our partners. Basically, we
Wow.
have
Okay.
done so many events with different university, different schools, different organizations, even with Ministry of Women Empowerment and Children Protections.
Mm,
And that's very recent, actually. And then we also had collaborations with UNICEF, where if you type cyberbullying in Indonesia, UNICEF, and that's going to be the first page come out, and that's also the collaborations that we have with UNICEF Indonesia.
okay.
Um,
So you were
fully,
mentioning earlier that you're engaged with UNICEF. So is this part of that engagement?
so yes, I was working before in the one of the UN entity. At the moment, right now, I'm with the
With
UNESCO as a
UNESCO. Okay, okay.
yeah, as a, with the UNESCO with the youth AI ethics. It's not entirely talking about this online safety, but then with the UNICEF, it's more like collaborations with an organization to organization.
Got it, got it. So UNESCO is more about ethics, which is I think a much broader topic, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes. And it's a cross study as well when we speak about ethics. And my specifications in there, it's to provide the recommendations for the artificial intelligence and ethics
Wow.
for the young people. Yeah.
This is amazing though. I mean, you started, I guess you could say as a victim. You went through, I guess, a transformation period. And then you decided, I'm not going to be a victim anymore, and I'm going to start to help victims. And you started this whole bullied. You've built a network. Um, what was that like? I mean, was that hard to do? Was it hard to get into the right organizations, to build Bullied? Did you do this yourself? Did you have support from, um, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. So obviously it is extremely difficult, especially my education and my previous professional background is nothing to do related to building my own organization.
Right.
I thought in the beginning I was just gonna make a temporary movement project, but by far we've been digitally benefiting over 45,000 people in Indonesia and even Indonesians abroad. So it's too late to stop, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
um,
I mean, you shouldn't stop. You're doing a great
I,
service,
I know that.
and,
So
and you should never stop this. I think you should get more people on board to join this cause, to be
that's
honest.
true. That's
But
true.
but my
Yeah,
question is more, how did you get these people on board? I'm sure there's a whole story behind it. That's probably a very long story. But could
yeah.
you, like, maybe, like, in a nutshell, could you tell us, like, how did you actually get all of these psychologists, lawyers together on Bullied and build this app?
Yeah.
um
So I was utilizing my own network. I studied at University of Indonesia,
Yeah.
where basically I was just sharing to a few of my networks, hey, I think I want to do something like this. So they
Mm,
also actually available because, it's a COVID. Everyone's working from home, studying from home.
right.
So basically we started with 16 psychologists and with 9 lawyers. So from that number, we grew to 92 psychologists and lawyers.
Wow.
So in August, basically in conjunctions with our Independence Day, basically I was telling them to, hey, why not we just gonna give our professional knowledge just for free for this whole month. I mean, just to celebrate
Wow.
Independence Day. And I think why not we basically give back to community, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's how it started in the beginning. So
Wow.
it's gone quite viral, although it's not that viral, but we receive about 750 people coming to our website. It's just within 1 week. I mean,
Wow.
with completely zero promotions. It's just within us. And then few of the media basically cover the story that we have. And then I think everything is starting from there. It's just
Mm,
word of mouth, and people are telling to other people, and then we started to building our Instagram and a Twitter as well, and then we ensure that people are aware about what we do. We haven't done any advertisement or anything sort of things like that. We've got covered by the CNN, by Tempo, by Jakarta Post. Everything is just naturally organic. So
mm.
we never
Yes.
really, yeah,
Well,
we
well,
never
I
really,
mean, you're doing a great service, so I think it's something that should be covered. I mean, it's something that, especially now with the pandemic, a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are going through depression. They need someone to talk to. And
yeah,
I think right now this is where predators come in and kind of start taking advantage of these people who are lonely, who are going through maybe bouts of depression, and they're looking for someone to talk to, and they end up talking to a predator, or
yeah,
or someone who's going to end up blackmailing them with revenge porn or something.
yeah.
So this is an amazing service that you're providing with Bullied. I was going to say bully with ID, just so people remember. Bullied is with ID, not ED. But it is an amazing service, and it's amazing to hear that the reception that you've received is good. You've been covered in the media, and it's really good to have you on to share this, because I think this is again a really important topic. It's a taboo topic, and I think it's something that people need to be aware of.
Yeah.
um, I'm just saying this also because I actually have more questions I want to ask you about not just the services, but what could people do to help, or someone who's going through some trauma, but maybe they're not sure if they want to reach out to Bullied. What would you say to these people?
Well, if you are listening to this, I think there is no there's no greater support is basically coming is to you without you seek for the support.
Mm,
Because the support itself, it's not going to come without out of nowhere
right.
until you seek for that support. And that's what I experienced it myself as well, because no one is going to help me in that situations. No one will reckon there's something different to me that happening to me. But it is my own initiative that I feel like I need to talk about this, right?
Yeah,
But if you
that's
are, yeah, but if you're a friend of someone, then you can actually reckon there's something wrong happening towards your friend, and you see there's something different. I mean, like if you're really close to someone, you should have able to actually see that.
Right.
You could actually give a favor as well to your friend to ask what is going on to the
Mm,
person,
right.
right? Because it is not costing you any money to basically just check to your friends,
Right.
especially during these times. This is the most crucial time for everyone because people are losing job, people are in a very difficult situations, and there's so much instability
So
in
true.
this world. You have no idea whether you're still working in that company tomorrow because things could happen.
Yeah.
That company could probably go on bankrupt the next day. Basically any possible everything could be possible during these times, right?
Yeah.
There's another PPKM probably next week, and then it's harming your business. Everything basically possible. And it is important for us to not just running after money or running after positions or running after anything. I think this is also what COVID-19 want to teach us, right? It's in the end of the day, it's all about connecting with other people,
Right.
and
True.
and it's
It
all about like
I
just
mean, we're
yeah,
social creatures, so we need that connection, and
absolutely.
we need someone to talk to and to be able to share this. So yeah, it's an amazing thing you're doing. So for the listeners out there, I think Agata shares a very important point. Is you've got to take the initiative. You've got to tell yourself, take that first step. You know, the first step is the scariest, but once you take that first step to getting help, whatever help you need, Bullied seems to be there for you. I'm sure they are, right,
Of
Agata?
course.
Bullied
Of
will be
course.
there for them. So for any of the listeners, take that first step. Don't be afraid to reach out. I think this anonymous service that Bullied provides also should give you comfort that you're not giving away any personal information, your name.
That's
You're just getting someone to talk to. You're getting professional help. So anyone going through that, definitely recommend it. So Agata, just we're running out of time here. I still have a few more questions, but maybe I can save it for another session. There's one last question that I like to ask all my first-time guests, and that is, let's say that your time on this earth has come to an end. You're moving on to a better place, and you've accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish. So you've built Bullied. People are not being bullied anymore. People are aware of cyberbullying and physical, mental bullying, and you've accomplished everything. Now you're moving on to a better place, but you can only leave two pearls of wisdom to leave behind. Everything else you have to take with you. This app you've made, you've got to take with you. Bullied, you have to take with you. You can only leave two pearls of wisdom for the people, um, to the people to remember you by. What would be your two pearls of wisdom?
hmm. This is actually very interesting, right? um, so the two wisdom that I'm going to leave behind it if I'm moving. I think one is understanding your own value,
Mm,
because no one will be the biggest motivator for yourself, and basically unless it is you, right? What
mm,
I'm trying to say, it's the biggest motivator of yourself.
right.
So you are the biggest power of yourself. So I know it sounds cliche, but it is true.
Yeah, it's
So you
absolutely true.
literally can do everything that whatever that you wanted, because there's
Mm,
always a path towards that. Um, and just remember that the success, the life, it is not It is not at the end, but it is a journey.
Right.
Right. So basically these two wisdom, it's going to be somewhat correlation. So there's a correlation in here. So believing in yourself and knowing that the journey, it is a journey, and but this is not something that is gonna have end in the end. So what I'm trying to say in here is our life, it is a process, right? And if you have the journey, when you want to go from Chiawi to Bandung, for example, in the middle of the way, probably you feel like, oh, wow, the weather is really nice in here. I just want to stop a while and then just enjoy and relax the weather, right? And it is the journey. You're going to get there eventually. You're going to get to Bandung. But in the journey, you enjoy it more because you witness something that you probably enjoy. You probably taken rest, probably, you probably just simply eating some strawberry on the way. But it is all about the journey and the process. So no matter how the journey that you are taking, you're going to the right A or B or A1 or B2C or whatever. But as long as you know, get there, just enjoy the journey, because in the end of the day, it's not always about the result, but it is also the process. I think
Those are very, very good pearls of wisdom. So the first one is know your value and be your own cheerleader, basically. Don't believe in yourself. And definitely, you are the one who is in control with your life, right?
Okay.
And if you're in control with your life, you should know where you want to go and where you want to be. But don't focus so much on the end point. Focus more on the journey. I think there's a saying, if I remember correctly, the road to get there is much more comfortable than actually getting there.
Yeah,
Which
brilliant.
which kind of means, the actual journey is better than the destination that we actually, once we're there, right? It's like, okay, I'm at my destination, now what? Whereas during the journey, we stop, we enjoy this, we enjoy the view. Maybe we'll have a flat tire along the way that will challenge us, but it still teaches us a lesson, and there's lessons to be learned. So
that's true.
very, very, insightful and powerful pearls of wisdom. So I did say that would be the last question. This isn't really a question. It's more, if people want to get in touch with you or get in touch, maybe they're victims of being bullied. What's the best way to reach out to Bullied? Is it just download an app? Or is there a website? Is there a call center? What's the best way to reach out to Bullied?
Thanks, David. Thank you for asking this. So otherwise I'm going to forget. So if you obviously, our Android app, it's going to launch in October. So please hold on a bit. And but at the moment, you are basically can access our web applications. Just simply type app.bullied.org, BULLYID.org. And then there you have three options available. There's psychologists, there's a lawyers, and there's a professionals there. You can actually select any psychologist that you feel that you are comfortable to talk to, because every single psychologist and expert has their own specialties. You can see our trained counselors as well, all the time available from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. You can get the consultations with them for free. So ensure that basically we're going to get you covered with just simply with the web application. So there's three options. You can also have it. If you want to reach out to us, if you want to get more updates about what we're doing, you can also follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Bullied App. We're more active on Instagram. So And we'll be
That's Bullied Up.
Bullied app. So app. Yeah, app.
APP. Okay. So Bully ID APP.
Yes, all together.
For the Instagram handle. Okay.
Yes, yes. So we are sharing lots of information almost every single day. So if you want to keep yourself updated with our activities, our educational resources, do follow us on Instagram as well. Sometimes we're actually providing a lot of free counseling as well. So it's good to follow us.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so for all the listeners out there, I think that's some great information. Wait for the app coming out in October, you said, on the
Yeah.
Play Store. Any plans to launch on Apple Store?
Yes, in the end of this year, that's the plan.
Okay, so October Play Store for Android. For you Apple users, please wait till the end of the year or buy an Android phone. But in the meantime, you can go to that's bullied, bullied.org for the website, or follow Bullied or Agita's team on @bullied ID APP. So Bullied app on Instagram, and I believe that's for Twitter too. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
All right, and we'll leave those links in the description, so you guys can easily click on those links to follow the Instagram. I think what Agita's doing here is very, very important, empowering people to believe in themselves, to especially in this time where we're being disconnected. A lot of people are taking advantage of lonely people. So if you're one of those people, reach out and follow the Instagram. I think there's already going to be a lot of useful information there. I know I'm going to start following probably after I end this podcast.
Thank you.
So I just want to thank you again, Agita, for your sharing. I think what you're doing is sensational. It's very useful in this time. You're doing a great service to society, and helping people build that awareness of being aware of not just bullying in the traditional sense, but now we live in a modern digital world. Bullying is much more advanced. It's much more intricate, I guess we could say. So it's great that there is someone out there trying to build this awareness. So thank you again for your sharing. Thank you to all the listeners who are listening. Again, I encourage you to follow Agita's team, Bullied, on Instagram. Join her website. If you need a consultation, remember, it's all anonymous. If you have any questions or comments, we would love to hear them in the comment box. And if you've enjoyed this session, please subscribe and like to this podcast. But thank you again, Agita. Thank you everyone for listening. I guess we'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, David. Thanks a lot.
So yeah, thanks again. And for everyone out there, remember, value yourselves, enjoy the journey, and stay positive. And if you need help, people are there to help you. So reach out and get the help you need. So signing off for now. Thank you, Agita. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye-bye.